Schmitty in Schaumburg is on WSCR The Score.
Hey, fellas, I just saw Larry Horst deliver my mail.
He's not that desperate yet.
I saw it. There's a sighting. I wanted to address the myth of Ozzie Ball, if I could.
Sure.
I believe that Ozzie Ball is misinterpreted, and I think it was mentioned once that it was small ball, and then it kind of ran from there. Ozzie Ball is about passion and about responsibility.
Hold on a second. How is it about passion?
Because Ozzie plays with passion. Ozzie's a passionate individual, and he wants his team to play with passion. And
how does that? When you say Ozzie Ball is about passion, all managers spout the same cliches about playing with passion. That's meaningless.
I'm not referring to what he says. I'm referring to what the public's perception is of the term Ozzie Ball. They drove and run to 2001 with the drive double. They drove and runs in 2003 with the gap line drive double. 2005 was the same thing.
Oh, no. Home runs. They home runs, dominant starting
200
pitching.
home runs.
Yeah.
2005. 200.
You don't. Think about the first 2 weeks against Seattle in 2003 when they hit gap line drives, and 2005 against Cleveland was the same issue.
What? What? I'm already lost. The
first 2 weeks of.
Here's what it's about. It's not about the bunt. It's not about stolen bases. It's not about going from first to third on a single. It's about playing the game hard. And everybody thinks it's about small ball. It's about the bunt. It's about advancing runners on sacrifice flies. It's about trying to play the game hard. The White Sox don't do that right now, and that's the problem. The White Sox are not playing passionate baseball.
What defines passionate baseball?
Game one, Orlando Cabrera came out of the dugout twice. Joe Creedy got into an argument with the umpire. Ozzie did not do that. That's the problem.
Ozzie's not crying enough?
It's not crying. It
is. It's crying. So how? I hate this stuff. This stuff just makes me so mad. This idea of passionate baseball. The idea of there are plenty of bad teams that can behave like children. Would that make them passionate if they're crying more?
Well, how would you equate passion with behaving like a child?
Because all that passion stuff is garbage. You hit the ball, you throw the ball, you catch the ball, you run the bases. And you
care about doing it. That's the point. You care about doing it.
You're paid to do it.
Yeah,
stop with that. There's nothing to all that stuff.
Dan, let me ask you a question.
The passion and the fire and the hood.
Let me ask you a question. Any man can have a job. What separates somebody from
talent and ability?
Talent and ability. Okay, equal talent, equal ability. What separates those two individuals potentially?
Nothing really.
Well, it's the effort you put into it. Is what it is. Is what it is. It's the effort you put into it.
That has nothing to do with arguing a call. It has nothing to do with the fake hustle running into walls and all that silliness.
You understand that the best player in baseball for the last number of years is hardly a fiery and passionate figure, right? You understand that, right?
It's a meatball argument.
That's what he showed. No, it's not a meatball argument.
It is a meatball argument. It's a meatball position, this whole idea of evidence of passion being something other than the success at the game itself. Evidence of passion is in getting the hit. It's in making the catch. It's in doing your job successfully. Winning is the evidence. Winning is the evidence, not all the other stuff.
Please let me bring up an example of the Chicago Bulls when they were on the bench and they were smiling and laughing when they're getting blown up by 25 points. There's something wrong with that. You should care.
That's because they're... Well, no, but hold on a second. My point is that you're arguing that's an illogical argument. What you're saying is doing that makes them bad. And doing that, while that is certainly unprofessional to do that, doing the opposite doesn't make you better. The Bulls wouldn't be better if Kirk Heinrich is there scowling and clapping and waving towels. That wouldn't make them better. Those are completely different arguments. Saying that you don't want a team laughing about losing, yeah, obviously you don't. But that has nothing to do with saying that other evidence of passion outside of the actual success or failure between the lines actually makes you better at the game.
The call is about Ozzie Ball, and what that means, and that means passion. When
you're back to the start of your argument, and it's just as meaningless.
I will tie everything together. When you were in the dugout, when you were on the field, when you were in the clubhouse, when you were driving home, when you were thinking about the game, when you were preparing for it beforehand, if you care and you are passionate and you are putting in effort mentally as well as physically.
While you're driving home? Well, you're sitting there with your wife and kids. What are you supposed to? What are you talking about?
Oh, God. You mean to tell me that honestly that you don't believe that athletes should think about before the game and after the game and all the time because they're paid for it?
On the way home?
No, I think athletes should pay attention to their wives and children more than they're thinking about the game on their way home.
They drive over the game with their wife and children.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Oh,
do you really think a professional athlete, when he leaves, you want to, honey, I'd really love to hear about your day, kids. I'd love to know how the homework went. I'm thinking about the game. I don't want to hear from any. That is just retarded.
Thank you for the call.
That was caller of the year.
Caller of the year.
No, he is a good caller. He defended his points.
He defended his points.
It's not a bad call.